here.
You were, well, alhamdulillah, you were talking about how when you left Islam and anyway, like I mean, I've been Muslim for more than 30 years, but I feel like, sometimes I don't practice like I should, or I kind of like get, like stuck in the middle, sometimes, and then sometimes I continue,
I
but
understand.
I
I understand the
just
struggle.
feel like, what is your advice, like when you, feel like you're struggling, like trying to keep, you're trying to, keep going and you feel kind of stuck,
Yeah. But the most important thing is always remind yourself that why are you doing this? Are you doing this just because I mean, for any different reason, like sometimes shaitan make us forget why we're doing this. Sometimes our nafs, our ego comes into the place. Sometimes the dunya, this worldly things, they take also some space in our heart and distract us from worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So always remember, I mean, I have the other day, we had a meeting with Sister Marina, and she said very nice thing. Come here, come here. And she said very nice thing. She was like, you have to know your purpose of life here. You have to know why you're doing this. There is Sister Danielle over here. She's been a Muslim for a while. This is Sister Marina over here. And she's asking me about, that sometimes it gets really a struggle, that sometimes like she leads the practices come back and she feels like she's disconnected and
We
things like
spoke
that.
about this.
Remember? Yeah. So
I remember.
can you repeat what you said the
Yeah.
other day when you talked about this? Yeah, go ahead. I mean, she said really great
I
stuff.
figured that for me, it was very important for me to understand the why of things, for me to go back in the Quran and in, different lectures I had seen, go back and find the reason as to why I was doing this and educate myself whenever I started to feel that disconnect. That helped me go back and feel more connected with the faith and do things. And even if it wasn't like a huge thing, I would always go back and learn a little bit more, and that just keeps me connected. Finding the why, it was just very important for me to make sense of it and understand, and just make it more of a priority. Just the more I learned, the more I understood that this, is a priority, because everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed for us to do is for a reason.
Yeah, also, what the Imam said earlier today, she said like start with little things but make it continuous. Consistency, yeah, continuous or consistent. And many times we tend to want to, like, we want to practice, we want to do this, and we overwhelm ourselves with all these
We
things.
want to do it all at once.
And then, yeah, exactly. And then suddenly it's like it gets so overwhelming and we quit everything. And that's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is being consistent, like taking everything step by step, little bit by little bit.
The only way I add something new, like a new dua to do after I pray or anything, is after I've become consistent and I've already become accustomed to doing everything I'm doing. So I only add new things whenever I, feel comfortable in what I've been doing.
There is a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. There's a man who's Bedouin, and Bedouin are known to be like very earthly. They are very like tough, and they are uneducated. So he came to the Prophet ﷺ and he was like, mumbling and talking with himself and like being like so hot and, So he approached the Prophet ﷺ. So he asked him like, what's going on? He said, I want to become a Muslim. He said, okay. So he explained to him what Islam is. And he said, the first thing to do is to say the Shahada. And he said, do I have anything else? And he said, now you have to perform the prayer until you excel it. That means you become good at it. And he said, do I have something else? And he said, and then you pay the zakah until you excel how you do it and you do it right. And he said, do I have something else? And he said, yes, you do the Sawm Ramadan, which is like fasting Ramadan. And then he dropped everything and he said, Wallahi, I will not do anything else. And he left. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Aflaha in sadaq. That means he will be successful if he was truthful. So look at that. The Prophet ﷺ, he did not give him like the whole 5 pillars of Islam. He only gave him one at a time, right? He told him first you say the shahada, then you learn the prayer, but then you have to excel it. You have to do it, and then you do the zakah, and then you excel it, and then you do this. And guess what? I was looking at this hadith, and I tried to find other narration of it. It's very interesting that the Prophet ﷺ did not even reach to Hajj. He did not even tell him what Hajj is. And that man, he just stopped everything and he said, that's it, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna do it, and that's it. And the Prophet ﷺ, it was enough, it was like enough for him. He did not even know, oh wait, there's Hajj. No, he didn't do that. He just told him aflaha in sadaq. That means he would be successful if he was truthful. So that's all what we need to do, is just take it step by step and learn it, just a little bit by little bit, being persistent with what we do.
I mean, it is overwhelming.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when you start, it's a lot of changes.
Sahih. That's true. Yeah.
It is. Because like we
I
said,
feel like I used to be like, so perfect in the beginning, I had everything. Like, I used to be like, know everything, and I wanted to give classes, and then now like people ask me to do classes. I'm like, no, I don't have enough knowledge, and you should go to somebody else. So, yeah.
You know what? You don't have to be like, not everyone is comfortable in speaking in public and in group, but you can mentor a person, like one new Muslim that you meet in the masjid, and she's struggling with her salah. You can tell her, hey, how about we meet like once a week, and I can teach you the Fatiha, for example. And guess what? When you teach her that Fatiha, remember that every time she's going to stand in that salah and she's going to recite the Fatiha, you're going to get ajr for it. You're going to get a reward for it.
I actually was mentored when I first became Muslim by a sister here in Texas. Her name is Amina.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. And she used to send me most of your links when I was still back in Puerto Rico. But mentoring does make a difference, having that connection, especially if it's somebody that doesn't live anywhere close to a masjid. Mentoring someone can have a profound impact.
Yeah. And that's why we have the mentorship program that I have for the Shahada Social and Studies. I don't know if you know about it.
Yeah. Amina was from there.
She's one of them.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a co-founder.
Yeah.
So, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. So if you need any mentor, I can send you one who can teach you the Quran and all these things. I don't know, Sister Danielle, I think you have one, no? I thought you.
Yeah, I do have one. Yeah. I have every sometimes every Friday or every Sunday to do Quran, or
So just look at that.
and
This
you're also a mentor, right?
I used to be.
You're also
It's just taking a lot of my time. I used to be, but yeah.
I really enjoy your classes.
For that. Yeah, alhamdulillah. But if you need anything, Danielle, I'm here for you. Sister Marina, if you want, I can share her phone number with you, and if that's okay.
Yeah,
with
that's
you.
okay with me.
You can connect with each other like sisters,
I appreciate it.
We will encourage each other, inshallah.
Yeah. There's a definite need for community.
Right.
Yeah, I think just since I've been stopped since all the corona, and I used to go to the masjid like every Monday and Thursday and for Juma, and then I started working, and then I haven't really had much time to go back to the masjid. So I think that's what happened. I just kind of felt like you need someone to talk to sometimes,
Yeah, that's right. You need that friend,
You can send her my number.
Yeah, sure. I will do that. Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Yeah. What a beautiful sister. Jazakallah khair. If you have a car and you park it in front of your garage for a long time, that motor will die and the tires will become flat. You have to re-inflate the tires and restart that motor, for your car. So I know sometimes like Corona, made a lot of things, to the worse, and some people they say to the good, right? But we have to restart. We have to reboot.
Yeah, I know.
Inshallah.
Yeah, right.
Inshallah.
To be sincere to ourselves, Yeah.
I know you.
Jazakallah khair, sister.
وإياكم. جزاك الله خير.